Hit it, Phil.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Can it be the breeze that fills the trees with rare and magic perfume? Oh, no, it isn't the breeze. It's Jackson time. La-da-da-da.
Stay tuned.
Right after this episode.
For our discussion.
From Television City in Hollywood, the Jack Benny Program.
Oh, my papa, to me was so wonderful. Oh, my papa, to me is so good. That's why I say he's gentle.
Rochester, we had a very, very good rehearsal. Now I want to get made up for the show, huh?
Fine.
Okay. Hey, wait a minute. What kind of makeup is this?
Well, you said you wanted something to make you look nice and tan.
I know, but peanut butter? I want to look tan, not lumpy. Anyway, I think you better shave me first, huh?
Oh, okay, make yourself comfortable.
Right. You got everything?
I think so. Shaving cream, brush, razor, smelling salts.
What do I want with smelling salts?
That's for me. I can't stand the sight of blood.
Well, be careful.
Yes, sir.
Now, go ahead. You know, Rochester, I think I'm going to have a very good show today. You know, I come out alone first, and I do a monologue for a few minutes. Then I introduce my guest star, Bob Hope. He does a few minutes. And then Don Wilson is going to come out and introduce the sketch, you see. And then after we introduce... Go ahead, start shaving me, will you?
Yes.
And then after Don introduces the sketch, then Bob and I come out in...
One nose, 2 ears, 1 chin.
What are you writing that down for?
After I finish shaving you, I'll check again and hope we come out even.
Well, okay. Well, go ahead.
Yes. Oh, my papa, to me was so wonderful. Oh, my... Uh-oh.
What's the matter?
I think I cut you.
What do you mean you think? Can't you tell?
It would help if you'd bleed a little.
Well, I'm not going to force myself just for you. Go ahead and stop singing. I want to concentrate on the show, on my monologue.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't want to forget to tell the audience about my personal appearance tour that I open in Dallas, Texas on June 14. Then I go up to Portland and Vancouver and Seattle.
Hey, Jack.
Yeah.
Hey, Jack, don't you think you better hurry? You'll be out in a few minutes.
Oh, I'll be ready.
Bob Hope still complaining about the script?
No, he's still mad because he hasn't got enough to do. Claims I didn't give him enough, and he comes on so late in the show and everything.
After all, Jack, why, it's your show. Why shouldn't you come out there first?
Well, certainly.
1 minute to airtime. Everybody on stage, please. All actors in the first scene, please take their places.
Jack, that voice. Isn't that Mary?
Yes, her summer job at the May Company doesn't start till Monday. Rochester, hand me my shirt, will you, please?
Yes.
Okay. Give me my tie, too.
Yes.
John, stop eating my makeup.
All right, Jack, all right. See you on stage.
Okay. Rochester, get me my pants, too, will you,
Yes.
please? Well, hurry up. Give me my pants. We haven't got too much time now.
They're not here.
What do you mean they're not here? I put them right over there on that chair.
Well, they're not here now.
Well, where did you take them?
I didn't take them any place.
Well, I put them right here on the chair when I came in.
Well, they're not here.
Here's my music. I've got to go on the stage. For heaven's sake, where are they? I know the pants. Well, keep looking. Looky, I can't go on the stage.
very much, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Lucky Strike program. In just a few minutes, you'll see our star, Gypsy Rose Benny. Personally, I'm very happy to be over here at CBS, ladies and gentlemen. This is rather strange for me. I'm on the major network. I really feel like a stranger. I feel like Zsa Zsa at a PTA meeting over here. I don't know. But I am awfully thrilled to be here at CBS. That's Crosby and Benny's Strongbox. And I want to tell you, it's a beautiful place, isn't it? And Television City is right next to Farmer's Market. And it's very convenient. You can lay them here and sell them there. And it really works out. No, I had no trouble getting through the immigration. And I want to tell you that it's... Oh, by the way, this is where Bing did his last show. And I think they've done very nicely. They've gotten most of it out of the curtains. He's undecided about his next show. He doesn't know whether to go on again or buy the whole thing. I don't know whether... He's up in Nevada right now, looking over Boulder Dam. His piggy bank is filled. He's loaded, you know. He uses Howard Hughes for a bellboy. But I want to tell you, I really hated to do this to Jack, but it's the only way I could get on. And isn't that wonderful material? Unfinished payments. Brooks Brothers. Not made by him, worn by him. And look at the shine on those pants. This could start another hearing. It's interesting when you get... Oh, it couldn't be. Really? Mary gave him mad money. He really had... You know, when you ask this kid for a loan and he tells you his money's tied up, he's not kidding. This is an obstacle course for pickpockets.
Hey, Bob.
Yes, yes.
Bob, now give me my pants. I'll give them.
Pull your head back in or I'll hand out baseballs to the audience. Oh, you. What do you say we get in the back pocket and look at the wallet, huh? All in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you, Shills. This is what I've been waiting for, the driver's license. Oh, I've been waiting years for this. Jack Benny, height 5'10", weight 157, eyes blue, hair on cold days. Date of birth. This has been erased once too often. He's had this for a long time. Is this license good for bicycles, automobiles, and covered wagons?
Hey, Bob.
Yes,
Bob,
John?
give me Jack's pants, will you?
Why?
I had to give him mine.
You mean Jack is actually wearing your pants?
You're darn right I am.
How are you, bozo?
Bobo, this is the last time you'll ever be on the Lucky Strike program.
I think that goes for both of us.
Oh, yeah?
Are these pants or a casual Quonset hut? What is it?
Look, Bob, you're spoiling the whole...
Who's in there with you, Jim Clinton? Say it.
You see? Bob.
Oh, look. I forgot to tell him about that line. I'm sorry.
Bob, you're spoiling the whole show.
So?
Now, I got to bring Don Wilson out here to introduce the sketch, and you're not even dressed yet.
All right, all right.
Now go ahead and get dressed.
I'll go, but don't get so mad. You take off his eyelashes and whip me to death.
You know, really, ladies and gentlemen, you know, you can't get mad at Bob Hope. You just can't. I don't care if you can't get mad. He's so charming. He has so much talent. He's so rich. I think he had a lot of nerve going through the pockets of my pants, though. I wonder what's in Don Wilson's. What do you know? A money clip with a lamb chop in it. Oh, he loves to eat. Yes, dear. A shrimp cocktail, isn't it? I better bring him out here to introduce the sketch. Oh, Don!
What do you want?
Come on out. You got to introduce the sketch.
I won't come out dressed like this. It's embarrassing.
I don't care if it's embarrassing or not. You come out here.
Oh, all right.
Hey, my pants are a little too tight for you, aren't they?
Darn right.
Now, Don, if you drop anything, just let it lay there, will you? Now, go ahead and introduce the sketch.
All right, all right.
Don, we're only acting.
Ladies and gentlemen, for our feature attraction tonight, we bring you Bob Hope and Jack Benny in On the Road to Nairobi. The opening scene is a jungle, inhabited by a wild tribe of fierce cannibals and headhunters, deep in the heart of Africa.
Man who thinks that native chief is just a dummy often ends by filling up a savage tummy.
That's to make it soda.
We eat man, and when we're through, we all smoke his luckies too. Dig-a-dig-a-doo, dig-a-doo-doo, dig-a-dig-a-doo, dig-a-doo.
When New Bangy smoked before he's even starting.
Wah, 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 wah.
In his mouth he's putting all at once a carton.
And a box of matches.
Better taste than Lucky Strike. That's the smoke that we all like. Dig-a-dig-a-doo, dig-a-doo-doo. Dig-a-dig-a-doo, dig-a-doo. Bimawa, go on chi. Bimawa, go yumbongi. Bimawa, go on chi. Smoke Lucky Strike too. Dig-a-dig-a-doo, dig-a-doo-doo. Dig-a-dig-a-doo, dig-a-doo-doo. Dig-a-dig-a-doo, dig-a-doo-doo. Dig-a-dig-a-doo to death.
Which way to Pierce Brothers?
Hey, Clyde, those last 2 miles were rugged, weren't they?
Yeah, I knew as soon as we got off the freeway, we'd run into trouble. This is the way they bring Phil Harris to rehearsal.
Hey, listen, Clyde.
Yeah?
You know, it's pretty dangerous here in the jungle.
You're telling me. How about those first 3 nights we had to light fires to keep the animals away?
Yeah. And we ran out of water. For 3 weeks, we couldn't even take a bath.
And then the animals lit fires to keep us away. What do you say we camp here for tonight, huh?
Okay, let's do that.
Let's hang up the hors d'oeuvre right here.
There we are.
Oh. Should we build a fire?
Yeah, I guess so. You know, Clyde, I think we're kind of silly.
What do you mean?
Well, here we are in Africa with a tiger.
Well, what about it?
Well, everybody knows there are no tigers in Africa.
There aren't?
No.
You sure?
I'm positive.
Okay.
Hey. He must have gone to a veterinarian in Denmark.
I wondered why he had his hand on his hip when I shot him. He has his claws manicured. Don't point. I know the line. Don't point. Say, I don't know why I came on this expedition with you. I'm going home.
Well, you can go home if you wanna. But I'm going to stay right here in the jungle until I find the secret formula for shrinking heads.
Aren't you going to a lot of trouble just because you bought a hat that's too small for you?
That's what I like about you, Clyde. You'll have your little joke no matter how little it is. Now, let's get something to eat, will you? I'm hungry.
Okay. You don't have to worry about food, boy. We got plenty right here.
All right, don't stall around. Get it ready.
Okay. What do you have?
I think we ought to have a nice cool drink first.
Cool, huh? I'll get a drink. I'll get... Say, did Judge Crater have a beard? All right. That's just for the East Coast we do that.
Hey, Clyde.
Here's the ice cubes.
Clyde.
Yeah.
What kind of a tiger is that, Siberian or Bengal?
General Electric.
Hey, what's that?
Was that Dennis Day rehearsing? Hey, it's a lion. Get your gun, Buck. This is the McCoy. Get your gun.
That's my fault. I shouldn't have had that rolled up in my blanket. What'd you do with your rifle?
I threw it away. I didn't like the joke.
Come on, let's get something to eat, will you, so we can get out of here.
Okay.
For heaven's sakes.
We'll fix it up. Don't worry. Now, what would you like to start with? Would you like...
I don't know anything.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Nice ad libbing. I want to tell you, since Ike started, they're all doing it.
Well, then, how about getting something to eat so we can get out of here?
All right, get the butter, will you?
Okay. Where's the butter?
In the compartment that keeps it easy to spread. Thank you, Betty Furness.
You make the sandwiches, and I'll try to find a place to camp. I wonder where would be a good place to put up the tent here. Say, Clyde, do you think that if we put up the tent here, someplace, right between these two...
Hey, Buck, what happened? Marlon, tell me. Huh? No, not in code. Talk to me. What happened? Sadler Wells Ballet down here. Or the Chamber of Commerce. What happened? These are cannibals. They're fierce. They're going to eat us, Buck.
Hey, look, here, food. Bite! Ow!
Sonny Cap.
Wait up! Look at that!
I'll I'll talk to him. Who are you?
Meet Chief.
And who are you?
Me, Super Chief.
Eat us, but don't get a laugh, will you?
Oh, no. Oh, fine. We had to bring our own vegetables here.
You better get some tenderized, or I still have my shoes on.
Oh, we didn't remember that. Who are these guys?
They official tasters.
How is it, Duncan?
Good. Good. That's what cannibal soups are. Good.
It's not cannibal soup.
Stop! What is this?
Cucumber, agaruga, avuga.
What did he say?
It's National Pickle Week.
Hey, Clyde, is your nose gherkin or dill?
In a minute, it's going to be chow chow. That's the line they gave me, chow chow.
Remember what you gave me on your show, brother.
Well, yeah, you betcha. Now, I want to tell you what, we'll never get out of here. I'll tell you that. Get out of here. Okay.
I'm scared. I'm frightened.
Frightened?
Yeah.
Why, you yellow belly? you want to live forever?
No, I just want to reach 40.
Oh, we're not going to make that trip again. Oh.
Quiet. We want dinner music. Ligamoda.
You remember Mike Romanoff?
What's he doing? Is he playing a samba or a rumba?
What's the difference? We ain't got any room to dance.
That's fine.
Booga booga. Booga booga. Start fire. Start fire.
They're going to start a fire.
No,
They're going to burn it.
You're kidding.
They're going to burn it.
Oh, wait a minute.
Look.
Just a minute, man.
Stop it.
Wait a minute, fellas.
Ligamoda.
Hey, they can't start the fire. They can't start the fire. They have no matches. They have no matches. Oh, they can't.
I got a match.
Jack will be back in just a minute, but first a word to cigarette smokers.
Ladies and gentlemen, the famous syndicated sports columnist and president of Churchill Downs, Mr. Bill Coram.
If there's one thing I've learned in my 35 years of covering sports, it is that a favorite sport is a personal thing. Whichever yours is tops with you. Me, I've covered them all. And I like all sports. Baseball, a great American game. Our national pastime. And the World Series, a great gala week in America. And the kickoff in a big football game. But for me, the king of them all is horse racing. Naturally, I think that the Kentucky Derby is the greatest sports event in the world. But that's a matter of taste. And the same goes for cigarettes. I smoke Luckies because they give me the enjoyment I like, and they taste better than any other cigarette to me.
Sports columnist Bill Coram's got the right idea. It's all a matter of taste. And the fact is, Lucky's taste better for two good reasons. First, LSMFT. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Fine tobacco means better taste. And second, Lucky's are made better to draw freely and smoke evenly, which also means better taste for you. Why not try a carton? Be happy. Go Lucky. Find out for yourself. Lucky's taste better. Cleaner, fresher, smoother.
Thank you very, very much, ladies and gentlemen. You were such a nice audience, and this, as you know, is my last show of this season, but we'll be back again in the fall. Of course, I'd like to tell the viewers, people sitting at home, what I told you folks before the show, you know, that the kind of a show we had. We had about 8 rehearsals, and Hope changed every line. So finally, when we finally came to the show, I didn't know what he was going to say. It turned out that way, which was very good, I think. But anyway, I'd like to have you meet my guest, Bob Hope.
Thank you, Jack, and I'll take the blame.
Well, it was very nice having you on the show.
I loved it. My next picture's with Esther Williams. Did you like that?
Say, Bob, I want to ask you something.
Yeah. I
still think it wasn't very nice going through my pockets.
Your pants? Stealing
Yeah.
your pants?
Yeah.
Well, if Eisenhower had done that to McCarthy, the hearings would be over by now.
Oh, I could have said stolen my pants. Well,
Yeah,
thanks, Bob.
Fine, thank you very much, Jack.
Okay.
Enjoyed it very much,
Bye.
boy.
Let me see.
Bye.
Yes. You know, Martin and Lewis made such a brief appearance, we ought to get them back for a bow. Please, Martin and Jerry Lewis. Thank you, Dean. Thank you very, very much, Jerry.
Thank you, Jack. I'm very happy to be able to be here today.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, as I said before, we'll be back in the fall. And this summer, I'm going on a personal appearance tour. And I open June 14 in Dallas, Texas. And then I go to Portland, Oregon for a week, and then Vancouver, and then into Seattle for 2 weeks. And then I'm coming back, and I'm going to make a picture. And this picture that it's the first time I've made a picture since the horn blows at midnight. And this picture that I'm going to make is one that I wrote myself. And it's all about, it's a picture called California. And this is not a historical picture. You see, this is a picture all about the wonderful climate that we have. No, really, this is a picture, and it's about a boy and his sister who had been living in California, you see, for many, many years. And the sister decides to take a trip to New York City, which she does. And when she arrives in New York, she becomes very, very ill. So she wires her brother in Los Angeles to come on to visit her, you see. So her brother jumps on a bicycle in Los Angeles and rides all the way to New York to visit his sister, you see. And by that time, she's so ill, she's on her deathbed. So the brother, realizing her condition, punctures the tire of his bicycle, and the wonderful California air immediately cures his sister.
Well, hello again. This is Buck Benny speaking. I am joined by our regulars. Today's episode, it's fine that we're kind of going on a little long this morning with our discussion, because this episode is one of many of us in the group think is one of the ultimate train wreck episodes in the Jack Benny story. So this one it's got Bob Hope on it. You're like, okay, well, hey, this could be great with Bob Hope and Jack Benny together, but and for various reasons, there's issues with this episode, and we'll get into all those issues, and we'll talk about any of the good things that are in the episode as well.
I have a question before we begin as it pertains to this episode.
Yes,
and I know what
you may ask your question with your hand.
I know what Hope's answer will probably be, because we've talked about her Benny origin. But for everybody else in here, did you guys first see this episode as a kid versus as an adult? Okay, so I'm the only one who watched it as
an episode last week when Buck sent it to me.
Okay, I watched this one as a kid, so my impression of it then is not what it is now by a long shot. Yeah. For a kid, it's wonderful eye candy.
I saw it when I was first getting into Jack Benny, again, heavily as an adult. So that's probably 20 some years ago. And when I watched it that time, because I think I just watched it with a more, I don't know, with not an analytical eye. I just watched it for enjoyment. And seeing Jack Benny, two people that I really liked their comedy and things, Jack Benny and Bob Hope together.
Right.
And I kind of like the tiger, what is it, tiger leopard on the spinning thing that they're carrying around. I thought was kind of funny, but because it sort of worked, but it sort of didn't work. And I just kind of thought that was early. The whole thing, this show brings out a lot of issues with early television that can either be criticized or enjoyed for the silly stupidness of the things they had to do. But anyway, we'll get into it. So, and I'm just going to go ahead and this is Road to Nairobi. It's from 1953, sometime in there, and
May 54.
Yeah, May 54.
Yeah.
Okay, look at that. We're moving through time a lot faster than I thought we were. That's all good. So, yeah, wow. So I do know this, I believe. It is the last episode of that season, of the 4th season, and we're going to be heading into the 5th season. It's pretty cool that we've covered 4 seasons so far of the Jack Benny Show. Of course, it's made much easier because so many episodes are missing, and they didn't record a lot of episodes to begin with, so that's all right. But let's go over to our friend John and see what John has to say about this episode.
Well, first you have to remember that there was a series of movies called the Road to movies with Bob Hope and Bing Crosby, where they would play different characters, and then they would go to a funny, silly adventure in a different country. Road to Morocco, Road to Zanzibar.
Utopia.
And so if you got Bob Hope on your show, you're going to want to do a Road to spoof. The unfortunate thing is they chose to do a Road to Nairobi, which is in Africa. And so they decided to do a lot of those, African stereotypes that we wouldn't do today. Not only that, because Bob Hope is such a fun, crazy actor, he's ad-libbing all the time and trying to make Jack Benny break. And they also have some intricate, like Buck, you mentioned the gag with the spinning, game. And I feel like sometimes when they try to do these intricate or crazy gags, they don't always work 100%. Having said that, as a person who doesn't always get to watch live TV, there's some ways that I think that it's fun to watch, like the crazy things that can happen on live TV. So even when some of the jokes don't land for me, I do kind of get into the spirit of like, hey, anything can happen and the audience is going crazy. And so in that way, it kind of was fun.
Yeah. Well, it's like when they're carrying the leopard/tiger and it's on a pivot. So it's starting to spin, and Jack has to take his violin because he's got one hand holding the thing, and then he's got the other hand on his violin, which I was at the time going, okay, why does he even have his violin with him in this jungle scene and so forth? But he's taking that and he's whacking the leopard tiger thing so it doesn't spin. And just seeing him do that and try and act like it's no big deal, this is fine, this is what we're supposed to be doing, that's just a lot of fun. I enjoy all that kind of little things that happen.
Whenever I see Jack Benny almost breaking, and even when he does break, like those are fun moments for me too, and it gets to a certain point where they work up the audience so much that it doesn't even matter what they're saying anymore or what's happening anymore. They could say Swiss cheese and everyone would go nuts, so
right.
Well, and I think we're going to kind of probably, I think between Kathy and myself and maybe Zach, I'm not sure, tear some holes in this thing, and there's definitely some issues. But from Hope, when she came in, she was like, oh, I kind of like that episode. So I want to hear something positive first, maybe. And so let's go over to Hope and see, what do you like about the episode?
I like John said, I like the breaking up. I like that Bob Hope's kind of making fun of the script itself too. He's like, that's the line they gave me,
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. He's trying to be like, yeah, I know this is terrible. So I like that it's kind of going sideways. I like the strange references too, because it makes you think, and it I don't think it made people think back then, but it made me have to think, okay, what is this referring to? Or like, I also really like strangely have like an affinity for like Judge Crater references. There was a Judge Crater reference in here, and I'm like, that was interesting. So for anybody that doesn't know, Judge Crater was a judge that was kind of shady, and he kind of went missing in the middle of like all of his shady dealings. He was missing for a couple weeks without people really noticing, because his wife thought he was on business and people thought he was on vacation with his wife. So he kind of went missing for a while, and then nobody could find him. He was declared dead like 10 years later. And so there's just like anytime anybody like kind of went missing or whatever, it was called like pulling a crater, which is kind of morbid, but it's like it was kind of funny for that time, because it's just like he was just involved in this scandal, and it was a whole hubbubaloo.
Right. Right. So it's a little bit like the Jimmy Hoffa thing too, where people would joke about that. Oh, where's Jimmy Hoffa?
Can somebody make a 3.5-hour film about Judge Crater now?
Yeah. I also really like to show how crazy it kind of was off the rails. There's I don't know if we give away like endings here, but like Martin and Lewis, man. Just coming in at the end, what's interesting is like I don't know if we're gonna talk about this, but like Jack Benny did appear on like the Colgate Hour, and he's not billed as Jack Benny.
Right.
That same year, he's billed as, and he comes in at the very end, sort of like they do, except he's Jack, so less running around crazy. But he just comes in as Phil Abrams, and he's just kind of sitting there like,
yeah. Wow. No, and I wondered, I'm trying to present all the Jack Benny appearances chronologically, and we've talked as a group of like, what do you do with that? I mean, it's a 60-minute show, and he's on it for a minute and a half, maybe tops. And so we were thinking maybe we just cut that section out and present that tied in with something else. But yeah, and then I recently I was thinking, I feel like we're missing something here. He's appeared on other things. And then I went, oh, what about Burns and Allen? I know he appeared on Burns and Allen early. So I started checking that out, and he was on Burns and Allen a lot. He was almost a regular because he was like, I don't know, in 5 or 6 of the early episodes. But most of them were like a scene or less than a scene. It'd be like that, where he's on for a minute or something. He comes in, one of them, they're having a party, and he comes into the party, and he's like, wait, that party, that was supposed to be at my house, and everyone's supposed to come over here, and now they're all over at your house, George, and what's going on? And because Gracie had got confused about the party and thought they were hosting the party instead of Jack. And so that it was a great little thing, but it was just where he comes on at the very end of the episode, and there was a lot of those.
I love that. I love a true cameo where like this one, where they're just on for like a second. We're like, was that the celebrity? Was that Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis?
Yeah.
Well, Bob Hope did the same thing a few weeks ago when we presented the episode with was it Goldie Fields and Clyde? Was that the one?
Yes.
Yeah, where he ends up shot
up in the tree. Yeah. And he's like, I've been here for 2 weeks or something. And it was a great little joke, and it was a great little playoff, and that was kind of nice.
It's a fascinating look back of what it must have been like to watch TV in 1954, and you'd see all these CBS performers popping in and out of each other's shows. In part, they were doing that the give and take, so that they didn't have to pay each other. So we'll see a lot. Daryl, if you're trying to put every television appearance in order, you'll often see those kind of give and takes on the shows, because the income tax was at 95% for these performers. So they literally it was not worthwhile trying to get paid for each appearance, and so they would tit for tat, and then not charge each other for those appearances.
And I think that's also why they like sometimes would give each other things like a car, or they'd have their Red Skelton, I think, did an appearance to have his floors redone or something in his house.
Redone, yeah.
Yeah. So all of that was to try and avoid having to pay all the money in taxes. Because I mean, if you're on the 95% bracket, I mean, you get $1,000 and you're getting $50 or something. It's like crazy, and you know how little you get. But anyway, let's go over to, well, Kathy, what did you think about the show? Since we're chatting with you anyway. So yeah.
Well, I very much agree with the train wreck, and like John, this week preparing for the show was the first time I'd ever seen this episode. Yeah. But thinking about it a little bit more, it's what a crazy night at a vaudeville performance would be like. Especially, we haven't talked about the opening scene, which is the where were Jack's pants, and the thing of Bob Hope having Jack's pants and searching in the pockets. That's definitely something that could have been done in 1927. And to say what shocked me the most, so after the shocking Road to Nairobi scene, when Jack comes out at the very end in front of the curtain and he just decides to tell this story about the brother and the sister, and the girl is sick in New York, and the brother
his movie California.
That was, I've seen it in his papers. That's one of his oldest vaudeville routines of the 1920s.
No way.
And so the fact that he's almost 25 to 30 years later, just coming out and telling that story, that to me really sealed the deal, as well as the wonderful shot that they managed to get from overhead of Martin and Lewis running through the audience to get up to the stage. As I said, sort of really, made me think, oh, this could have been 30 years before. So
I have no idea how they coordinated that. That camera, that's you've got to be.
One
you've got
stationed up here. So.
Yeah, you would have had that one, but just cutting to the feed, and they got it right on time too. Like it's just like I'm thinking early television. Not everybody's set up for all the cameras, let alone one that's all the way back there. Like that's just got to be a nuts in terms of just making sure, like, all right, if you don't get this right, we're screwed. This gag won't work if you don't get that camera up there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and then Kathy, it makes me wonder, like, it would be so interesting sitting in that writer's room there while they're figuring out this episode. How do they come up with doing a bit from 1920s Jack Benny? I would assume they said they have like this many minutes, and Jack's like, oh, I got a bit I used to do that
exactly. That's probably it. And maybe he was feeling the vaudeville vibe.
Yeah.
So, but very amusing that he just presents it as something brand new that he's just saying off the cuff. And then, so maybe that's how his brain worked. So
I don't know, because I really doubt his writers would know his material that fine-tuned to be able to pull up something that from 1920s, but you never know. I mean, you work for Jack. I would assume you do a lot of part of your job is digging things up and looking at.
Well, there you go. He had also done it in one of his earliest 1932 radio episodes. Okay. So the writers did have it in amongst the scripts, as well as I said, it's written up and in his a copy of it's in his papers at the American Heritage Center at the University of Hawaii.
It'd be amazing if it was an actual book that he had constructed, and then just right before he knew he was about to go, he tore it all up to make it look like it was just paper scattered around. Because he seems so organized because of the many gags that keep coming in and out through the radio and television years. It's just like this seems like a plot.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Well, Zach, what are your thoughts on the episode?
My thoughts on this episode are in conjunction to how I feel about Bob Hope today versus how I felt about Bob Hope when I was a kid. Okay. When I was a kid, I loved, adored, and worshiped Bob Hope. As I think any kid would watching a road movie, and listening and getting access to those Radio Spirit collections that were available. And so the episode as a kid played beautifully. It was one of my favorite episodes as a kid. I would rewatch that one constantly in that Mill Creek, like 24 pack that had like 24 episodes in the box retroactively. And now that I think about it, it looks like crap. How I feel about it today is different because, number one, my thoughts of Hope have very much altered, especially knowing a little bit more about how he behaved during the Vietnam War. I understand the nuance within that, but it's still my personal opinion is like, stop it. But putting that aside, when I saw this as a kid, I didn't see the Sportsman commercial. That was taken out. So I didn't see the Sportsman commercial until years later. And it's one thing, obviously, to have the most offensive thing you could have at that point, which is Native African Americans being tribal and acting as cannibals. It's another to have this. Yeah, it's another thing to have the Sportsman coming out and doing that number and being in what they're in. And I find it very uncomfortable to watch today. As far as the Bob and Jack stuff, I love the chaos. I still adore the chaos of it. But I also don't appreciate Bob disrespecting Jack's script that way. And I think a lot of that has to do with learning finally the story behind how Groucho Marx got on the radio program in the mid 40s, which was he finally told Jack that I will respect your writers and their script. I will not tear it to shreds like I told them last time. And so like seeing Bob just tear these things apart, I'm almost just like, like these are tightly honed things by some superb comedy writers. Like if you don't want to do it, don't do it. But that's more of me looking at it from like a creative perspective. And if I were making a film like that or a television show like that, and I had a creative talent in there who was going to tear it to shreds, unless that was the point, no, I find it disrespectful. That being said, Hope is very funny with what he's doing. I think my favorite part of the episode at this point, apart from when they're doing, I do like the joke about the butter where he goes, "Where's the butter?" In the compartment that keeps it easy to spread. I think that's still a cute joke, but I think that the pants gag at the beginning, the cold open, quote unquote, with the dressing room is the best part of the episode for me, hands down. In terms of a Jack Benny thing, that's what I feel. It's still a fun watch. I do think people should watch it and enjoy it. Like the chaos and the vaudeville. I didn't think about the vaudeville thing, Kathy, but you're right. It feels like about as chaotic as going to maybe not the palace, but some kind of house.
But sure, it was the exact way that the Marx Brothers did their routines on vaudeville. The script is in shreds, and you went because you didn't know what was going to happen next.
Right. And in a sense, that's a great way to like think about the Marx Brothers as opposed to like throw away the people who are actually on it. Like if you want to connote the speed of the stage and that one camera shot in the audience suggests it, it's like this must be the energy that the Marx Brothers were working with. And Martin and Lewis are young at this point, so they're running, they're jolting up there. I do not know this because I'm not as television versed as I am radio versed. Jerry Lewis never worked with Jack again, did he?
Yes, he did.
On his program.
Not on the program, I don't think, but he was in this the Jack Benny birthday special.
Okay. So I got the feeling that like I would imagine if Jerry Lewis, just him, let alone with Dean Martin, had been guests on Jack's show in full, that there would have been a similar situation of sorts. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I know that Lewis was also honed in his own routine too. It's not all scattershot. Like some of it is prepared. Like you don't like some of this stuff always feels effortless, but it's not. It's actually very well calculated and planned. So I don't know. It just, but when he was like the moment he started budging in, I'm very happy to be here today, and then getting pulled off by Dean, I'm like, maybe that's why Jack never called them back. I don't know, but
and that's something I want to talk about because I didn't know that I'd be talking about this ahead of time, and I just was kind of piecing this together in my head. But I think I want to defend a little bit Bob Hope, Groucho Marx, and Fred Allen to an extent. They're all known as people that come in and rip apart scripts and do their own thing. But I will say, when Jack appears on a show, the writers know you can play with him being cheap, you can play with the toupee, there's so many things you can play with that will keep in his character, and he's easy to keep in character somewhat. I mean, he'll say, when I go and appear on other people's shows, They make me cheaper than I ever am portrayed on my show. They do more toupee jokes than we ever do and everything, but he was game to do it. And he's got an easy, laid back style that you can play with and work with. With Bob Hope, Fred Allen, and Groucho Marx, they all have such unique styles of presentation. I would think as an outside writer trying to write for them on your show would be really, really difficult to capture the spirit of who they are. The rat-a-tat-tat style of Bob Hope, he went through so many writers on his own to just try and keep up that pace.
That's very fair.
How do you do that? And so I could see them look at a script and go, well, this is great. They try to write for me, but this is not really me. So, and I think the audience in the show, and I'm sure when any of these guys, they're legendary performers, are talking to the show folks, they're like, oh yeah, if you want to add some stuff on your own, go ahead. I don't think anybody meant for them to rip the scripts apart as much as they do sometimes, but I do think I can kind of get it. I can kind of get why they felt the need to do that sometimes. But anyway, yeah,
right.
Sure. And if anybody's going to do it, it's going to be Hope. Bob Hope. Hope, you can chime in here too. So,
yes, Hope, what do you think?
I mean, Bob Hope would often like joke about, his writers. I think a lot of people would say, like, I've heard a lot of people say that they were even aware that writers existed for shows because Bob Hope would reference his writers so much. So I think it's known that Bob Hope had like a ton of writers versus a lot of shows just had, a whole lot less than Bob. So I think that kind of bringing his writers up is not like, or the writers up is not like, that's the line they gave me or whatever, is not necessarily something out of the ordinary that you would expect. And I think everybody is realizing everybody just wants to make Jack laugh, and then it's a good old time.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, and I think that's part of it. Part of the thing is Jack is having fun, and if Bob Hope had started to ad lib or written things secretly and then brought them in, and Jack was like not responding well, maybe he would have tamed it down a little bit. But the fact that Jack is obviously into it and like razzing him back, and doing his own ad libs too, like Jack Benny's ape ad lib was hilarious in this episode. So I think that because Jack Benny is sort of like giving permission for Bob Hope to ad lib a little bit, I don't think it's a problem.
Yeah.
It's curious just to mention the original reviews, the reviews in Daily Variety and Weekly Variety were very positive. One said, both of them mentioned that the opening stage gag, the cold open with the pants, was very old vaudevillian. But interesting, they said it being the early 50s and racial attitudes being what they say, they just say it's the funniest thing they've ever seen. Curiously, one review says, overall, the impact of this program was good, but Hope should watch some of those ad-libs. In many homes, hand on hip gags aren't welcome. So how times have changed. So they're saying the censors would get after him for daring to make a joke about sexuality, and let all the other stuff pass as just being unquestionably hilarious.
And I wonder, and I was going to ask you guys if you knew what this joke meant, because I didn't get it.
Is it? It's Denmark.
Danish.
Yeah,
it's the Danish girl.
It's the Danish girl. And wasn't no.
Christine Jorgensen.
What I was going to ask, was that around this time or was that later?
That was in the 30s.
Christine Jorgensen?
No. Christine Jorgensen.
Christine Jorgensen, yeah.
There was one in the 30s though that.
Yeah, the Denmark gag is the Danish girl. Jorgensen, for people who don't know, there was a well-known sex change operation that occurred, and it tangentially resulted in Glenn or Glenda by Ed Wood. Tangentially, because he made an entirely different story. When was that? What?
When was that? I don't remember.
It was in the 50s. I just couldn't remember if it was the early 50s or the mid 50s.
Well, it would have been before this because they're referencing it or whatever, right? So to me, yeah, it was a joke, and whenever sex change operations hit the newspapers and things, shows would joke about it indirectly, jab at changing things. Certainly the leopard changing its spots from being half leopard, half tiger sort of was that play with that as they're talking about it. And anytime there was something like that, they could play with those things. And yeah, it would always surprise me to talk about it. And especially since so much it's in the news today with things and so it makes this one topical. So
it's a gag that I feel like if you're not prepared for it, you might be taken aback by it. From that perspective, and it would be easy to demonize Hope or Benny for doing that, but I could be acting very cis white male here at the moment, but it seems harmless. Like, I don't think they're like attacking the decision. They're just generalizing it.
They're commenting on it. Yeah.
Right. But then what gets the reviewers upset for thinking the censor would be upset is then Bob Hope suggesting that Jack Benny himself perhaps exhibited homosexual tendencies. Oh my God, we can't talk about that. Oh, because that was deeply criminalized. Just to mention, there's one other very topical joke that Bob slips in during the pants routine when he says, when he's holding up Jack's pants and he says, look at the shine on those pants, that could start another hearing. This was the middle of the Army McCarthy hearings. And one of McCarthy's stooges was David Shine, spelled differently than shine, but it's a pun. And so
I wanted to mention a couple of references too that people today might not get. The Super Chief was a train at the time. When they have the native drum and he brings a candelabra onto it, that's a reference to Liberace, who always had a candelabra on his piano. And I was really disappointed. This isn't really a reference, but there's a joke that they sort of talk over or they miss altogether. It's hard to tell in the craziness, but I thought it would have been funny, despite, like everything, the insensitivity. But they sing the Campbell's Soup jingle, but they were supposed to change it to Cannibal Soup, and they missed it. They just sang Campbell's Soup.
Oh, okay.
That would have been better, but still, it would have been inappropriately funnier. But
I mean, they're already going with, it's bringing out the big pot and not to mention the blackface. I mean, this is one of those shows.
Are any of the cannibals actual black actors?
Yes, they are. Right? Yes, in fact, the one doing the Liberace gag is. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. And then I was thinking maybe it was everybody was black except for the Sportsmen, but I'm not sure if that's the case or if some of them were painted black. I mean,
I guess that would be a question for 39 Forever, which I didn't even think to grab. But I mean,
and I don't even know if it would have referenced that or not.
You got your copy there?
Yeah, she's looking.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't mention the
then maybe
single time performers. So
then maybe they're just extras coming in, like just fill space. Yeah, which is sadly the story of most African American performers.
Well, and what's sad is I don't know what's more inappropriate, having black folks pretend they're cannibals or having white people pretending they're black people that are cannibals. I mean,
it's
any
all
which
bad,
way,
Buck.
it's bad. It's bad all
It's all bad.
It's all bad.
That bit, I wanted to fast forward. I was like,
yeah.
And
yet to think that Digga Digga Doo was a popular song 10 years before, and having found a clip of Lena Horne singing it. It's so just what Hollywood, the music industry, television was like back in the day.
Well, it totally reminds me of when people say it's like watching a car crash, you can't look away. I mean, I was watching, just astounded. I've forgotten how insensitive it was. It was like you're taking a current bit, like a comedian might write or something for The Office or something, where they're going, okay, we're going to go way off and show this completely inappropriate thing. It's like it was purposely done as inappropriate as you possibly could. But the funny part is, of course, that it wasn't on purpose. It was simply they thought it was funny and they thought this was good, and they thought it's like
there's precedent for this in the Road franchise. Road to Zanzibar being the biggest offender of this. But if you go back to Road to Singapore, there's a very vital scene where they all get in brown face makeup to go to a feast, because it's natives are only allowed at the feast is the gag. I mean, Road to Morocco's got its issues too. And the road movies are wonderful pieces, and this sketch correlates with it to an extent. But those road movies, like anything, have to be taken within the context of their time, because I mean, Buck Benny Rides Again is far more progressive by comparison to Road to Singapore and Road to Zanzibar, hands down. But I mean, they're still enjoyable, but like it's par for the course. Like the writers are just going off of what they've seen in a film prior.
And that's exactly right, Zach. We always have to take these in the context they were done at the time they were done, with the spirit they were done in. They weren't trying to offend anyone, and sometimes they did. I mean, sometimes as we go through these episodes, there'll be a bit that's very progressive, and you're like, wow, they really are. They're showing Black performers having a conversation on television in 1954 or whatever it is, or there's some things that are very the other way, certainly with Asian stereotypes and lots of things that happen in different episodes of the Jack Benny Show. I'm really, honestly, I'm kind of surprised they didn't stumble into doing more offensive things more often. It doesn't happen a whole lot, but it does happen from time to time.
I think it's a great microcosm to understand not just the obvious offensive material, but also what we have culturally allowed ourselves to think is okay for so long until something awakens inside of us more or less to understand that it's not okay. Like the amount of offensive Asian jokes in television and film for years, like up until like maybe the last 20 years, is still terrible. But like I will say though, I believe on leaving on positive notes. That gag that Kathy, you blew my mind. I didn't know that was one of his vaudeville gags, but I remember being a kid and hearing that he was going to make a new picture, and I'm like, he didn't make one after Horn Blows at Midnight. What's the secret film I don't know about? But I love that gag because he just, the way he punctures the tire and releases the air of California. It's such a, Jack always gets, like the consensus about Jack is that like he always gave the laughs to everybody else. I'm like, nope, he's a great monologist, and that's a great freaking story. I love when Jack gets the laugh.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with his cheapness or his vanity or anything like that. It's just him telling a very funny story. He's good at it.
Yep, he is. He's very good at it.
Yes.
And I think in his television show, he more often would get the laugh himself than he did on his radio show. His radio show, they didn't do a monologue sort of piece or anything. It was always a piece with him talking to Dawn or with him talking to Mary up front or whatever. And so the humor would be spread around. But with these shows, the television show focusing always on like a little monologue at the beginning, of course he's going to be the one who get the laugh in most of that. And then throughout the show too, because he had fewer of the regular cast members with him, he would end up getting the laugh a lot of the time.
You're right. These are really drawn from or paralleled by what he used to do in his summer appearances when he'd make these live stage show appearances, not on the radio. That's the model that they ended up using for television more, sort of filtered through his earlier vaudeville experience. But how interesting that because we rarely think about all those live stage show performances he did during the 30s and 40s and into the 50s, because he's mentioning in this show or that he's his summer tour starts in Dallas in June, and that's the one he's joined by his violin partner, the cute girl,
Giselle McKenzie.
Yeah, Giselle McKenzie joins him that summer. So he's marvelously, we talk radio and television, but he's got this other stream of entertainment that really does impact the other two, and it's totally live, and we have much less record of it, but
Correct.
It's a strong connection to both those other things.
And I think he would list evenly all those things, including vaudeville, as all these things were big pieces of his life. Whereas we as an audience look back and those become minimized because we just don't, like you say, have a record of them so much, other than the fact we know he did them. But we have this living document of these television shows and of the radio shows that we can go back and explore. That's the other thing I was just going to throw out there was this week I was just struck by folks talking about his movies, folks talking about his television show, and what a lot of us tend to like, and I'm as guilty as anybody else. Anytime the closer he gets to his Jack Benny persona and or cast appearing, and the more a movie gets to being like the radio show, a lot of us appreciate those movies the most. And the more the television show gets to be like the radio show, a lot of us really like those, like the shopping episode or the train episode and things like that. But I get what Jack was doing, and I respect that he was trying to stretch himself as a performer and things, which I think was a very wonderful thing. And stretch he also helped stretch like Eddie Anderson to not do the same thing over and over again, and to show off his skill set of being able to dance and being able to sing. It's delightful when he has Eddie sing on the show and so forth. I just kudos to Jack for not giving up on that and going, well, this is working what I'm doing in radio, so I'm going to do this everywhere. Instead, it was like, no, I'm going to be a little different for different venues and different media. And
would it be stretching it to suggest that when you start working with somebody like Harry Conn and then moving forward with Morrow and Boulogne, you kind of learn a lesson about like you can't just repeat, you have to keep trying new things.
Maybe.
I don't know. I think it's because he's on television now and it's a visual medium. And when he started on radio, it started with a monologue, and then it slowly became this sort of sitcom. Right. And I think what they were doing in the 50s on the radio, they wouldn't have been able to do in the early 50s on television until later, when they started to film the episodes, were they able to do like a full sitcom. So then what does he go to? He's like, what have I done visually? I've done the live shows and I've done the vaudeville stuff. Right.
Well, and somebody posted this week over on the International Jack Benny Fan Club not YouTube page, the Facebook page. And it's a lovely place to go, by the way. If you haven't gone there, there's like 7,000 of us on that thing. They were posting about Jack and about these things he would do and talking about it. And it was just striking me that what they were, the points that folks were making about Jack and about wanting to be a sameness to it. Because when you get Bob Hope, when he performs, whether he's performing for the troops, whether he's performing on the radio, whether he's performing in television, whether it's on film, it's pretty the same. He has a certain style that he goes with. Jack is different. Jack is different in different venues, and as John was saying, you couldn't do it the way his radio show was done at the beginning of television. But in 56, what they were posting about was he started to do some regular feeling sitcom episodes where it would follow him on an adventure. He'd be in the car and they drive somewhere and they do something, and it would be more like an I Love Lucy episode than it would be a Jack Benny episode. And folks were saying, and I chimed in too, and I said, yeah, I would have loved to have more of those type of episodes. Do I want exclusively those type of episodes? No, not really. I'm starting to really enjoy the fact that with Jack, from week to week, you never knew exactly what you were going to get. What I love is his previews of what's coming up. He'll talk about what's coming up, and sometimes it won't happen, or it won't happen for a couple of years. It's like, well, we look like we'll be presenting in 4 weeks this, and then they wouldn't do that. And you'd be like, wouldn't they have it planned out at least 4 weeks ahead, you would think? But
I mean, nowadays you would.
Yeah.
Nowadays you would, but you would, like, I guess early television, no.
I guess not, because he was wrong. I mean, he was right most of the time, but every once in a while he'll mention something, and I'll be kind of like, "Oh, I've never seen that one. That must be one of the missing ones." And I'll look, and it's like, "No, that one's not missing, but it's not what he talked about at all." So, no, very strange. Anyway, but I guess we'll end there and let folks go enjoy this episode, unless anyone has anything else they want to point out with this one.
Just walk in with the pretext that we've been given, and just watch within your comfort zones. You know, it's not an episode for everybody, but it's
and the fast forward button can be your friend in this episode or whatever.
Yep. Yeah, but that would be like 15 minutes of the 22 minutes. So I guess it really is like
just avoid the Lucky Strike commercial in this one. My gosh.
Yeah, even if you avoid that, I think you'll be more or less okay. I mean, it's, go in with caution, but have fun.
Well, and people share car crashes and everything all the time anyway on all these other channels. Enjoy this train wreck of an episode. Just go with it for what it is. And we'll see you guys next time. Thanks, everybody. Kathy Fuller-Seeley. Hi, Kathy. How you doing this week?
Oh, just great. Busy working on volume 3 of the Lost Broadcast.
Very cool. Very cool. And I can't remember when are we looking at a possible-ish release window?
Oh, hopefully later this spring, by early summer, I hope.
Oh, I was hoping for a summer reading present. So
the perfect 4th of July present.
Yeah.
Excited.
There you go. Because things do explode on on this series.
Oh, fireworks. Nice. I see what you did there.
It's an exciting one. That's great. and I hope you address some of that in your intro and everything of the book. And fantastic. Fantastic. All right. And then we have John Henderson here.
Hello.
From This Day in Jack Benny.
That's right.
And anything new going on with your This Day in Jack Benny, or anything you want to chat about?
Well, yeah, actually, for a long time I had another podcast, which, it's been on and off on hiatus, and it's on right now, which is the Theater of Thrills.
Oh.
And so I play one of the spooky old time radio shows like Suspense or Inner Sanctum or one of those ones. And then I do a silly intro, kind of like the silly intros in Inner Sanctum. So
nice.
It's fun.
Do you do voices and stuff in your intros?
I do, yeah.
Oh, sweet. I need to tune into that. Oh, that sounds fun. Okay. I love that. And you do so good with voices. It's very cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have our friend Zach Eastman. How you doing, Zach?
Hello. How are you?
Yeah, and you've got your yesteryear Ballyhoo review. Is that
you got it right? I'm gonna send you a cookie virtually right now. Stand by.
Virtual cookie.
You want the donut cookie? They're doing a crumble now. Oh God, I'll send you a crumble cookie down to Seattle. That'd be great.
And Zach and I are going to be doing on his yesteryear podcast. We're going to be doing Love Thy Neighbor, which is going to be a lot of fun.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
That's so cool.
Rival podcasters talking about the ultimate feud. Not really rivals. No, everybody's a friend here.
Yes.
But prior to that is going to be the Stuart Kanan discussion that we conducted over the Benny convention. Will be coming out along with some select shows in the world of radio that really basically summarize the feud, as it were, and give context to Stuart and his wonderful contribution to comedy history, as well as his amazing life after that. Because it's always like the comedy thing was just like one tiny bit. The other stuff is just like concert master, World War II veteran, like incredible.
Played for the world leaders. I mean, that's just
Potsdam, dude. Potsdam.
That story is just insane. So
there's no photo of them with the leaders because the Soviets said like nope. Or that camera out.
Yeah. And then we have our newest person joining us, which is fantastic. We have Hope Sears. Hope, I am so delighted you're here. And you do everything, Benny. The most recent thing we have that she's more famous than probably all the rest of us put together for right now is her interview with Neil Gaiman, which was just delightful. And I believe it's up on YouTube now where people can watch it, I think. So that's great. So if you just type in Hope and Neil Gaiman, you're probably going to find it. So.
Yeah, you can go to the International Jack Benny Fan Club YouTube site. It will be right there along the top rated videos thus far. It's gotten some of the most impressions we've had in the last couple of weeks there. So,
and I don't know if I got a chance to tell Hope this, but my kids watched it and they loved it. They now have a new respect for me and what I do because I was expecting Neil Gaiman would come on and go, yeah, I sort of based this one character on whoever, somebody from the show, on Dennis Day or on whatever he was going to say, and I thought that was going to be kind of it. I didn't know that he was going to be the ultimate Benny fan. I mean, it's crazy. He knew he knew intricacies about the show that you wouldn't think people would. Just I mean, usually it's us podcasters that know everything about the best seasons and the things that were going on behind the scenes and everything. But he knew so much.
And I didn't even get to ask him. So he met Harry Shearer one time, and they were they didn't talk about Benny, but he talked on Twitter about we need to meet up and talk about Jack Benny, and I didn't get to ask if he did that. Immediately afterward, I was, you come up with all these questions, and then after it's over, you're like, dang, I forgot that.
Okay, I have the ultimate thing for next year's convention. Get Neil Gaiman to be interviewing Harry Shearer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That would be insane. Oh, man, that would be great. Or they can interview each other back and forth or something.
Mark Hamill leading a discussion with Neil Gaiman, Harry Shearer, and the ghost of Norman Krasna.
You know who's also I found strangely, and there's not evidence of this anymore because he deleted his Twitter account, but one person that brought up Jack Benny a lot and questioning do young people know who Jack Benny is was Al Roker.
I saw a lot. He apparently did that on one of the broadcasts for Good Morning America. Is it Good Morning America that he's on? Or the Today Show, one of those two. He literally got into he almost got super offended by these younger people not knowing. It was you don't know who Jack is, and it's I kind of wanted to be calm down, calm down. They're not gonna know. Show them a YouTube link. It'll be okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing how many people do know a guy that died in 1974. I mean, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And so it's neat with all the podcasts, everything we all do to keep the spirit alive. And that's what we're doing today.
There's been interviews with Eugene Levy recently about his new program where he talks about Benny as an influence. So the more we can keep it going,
that makes me love that man even more than I already did.
Have you seen so the Netflix there's David Letterman, he's interviewing Ryan Reynolds, and Ryan Reynolds is talking about going into a Jack Benny loop, rabbit hole where he's just Jack Benny is the guy.
Mm-hmm.
So then you just answered a question that I've had for the last 4 years, Hope. Why would you dare put a Jack Benny reference in a Marvel movie that will be now retconned into the MCU?
Right.
It's Ryan Reynolds. That answered my question.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've heard Ryan's a big fan of Jack Benny and things. So
this is a hot take because the one person we thought could play Jack in a biopic, I don't want doing that job no more. Ryan Reynolds, put a little age in him. I could see him pulling off that timing. He's so known for doing the offensive attack mode of comedy. It'd be a great challenge to watch him pull back. And I could think he could actually do it. He's a talented actor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think he would be good at it. Yeah. That would work.